Hello? Oh, holy shit, you couldn't hear me. Of course, I didn't stream for a month. So yeah, hello Christy. Hello Christy. I didn't stream for 1 month. And the second I'm randomly start streaming without notice, you're right here already. How so? Let's check the video quality. It's not perfect for some reason. It's a little bit blurry for my taste. It's a little bit blurry. Mactopian, hello, hello. Mactopian, I have a question for you. How is the quality on the YouTube right now? Because I put the 18,000 bitrate there. And I don't think it's 18,000 and 1440 resolution. It's alright, it's alright. Alright, alright, it's actually good. It's actually good. Nice. I think, but yeah, check please. Hi Christy, how are you doing? I don't know if you heard me praising you, but yeah, I was praising you really hard. So yeah, today I'm gonna develop bot. I was developing it for quite some time already. But yeah, I'm gonna continue developing it right now. And there will be no games today. Quality seems okay. Sheesh, nice. So yeah, right now we are... I cannot show you the working functionality of the AUF part because I broke it, I think. But let's check what is broken here. There is no storager. Go around SimD. What's wrong right now? Session go. What is the music? You cannot hear the music actually? Really? It shows that you can. Hello, Scamper. Hello, Scamper. Weird. It's literally, I can show you. It shows me that there is audio. Let me check. Let me check. First of all, we're gonna skip here. And then let's go check the audio. Hello, Scamper. Test. Where is the audio? Where is the audio? Oh, yeah, I can hear myself, but... Wait a second, where is the music? What the fun of it without music? Alright, let's try to configure that. Let me see. Configuration, Spotify, track 1, track 2. Yeah, Spotify should be working. Yeah, the grass video is coming, Scamper. The grass video is right on the way. It's at one point it's gonna be there. Why are you so fucking big? Alright, audio, output. Oh, I see the problem actually. Sorry, I'm gonna quickly restart the stream so you could hear the music. 1 second. I need to stop the stream to enable the music. 1 second, guys, please. I'm gonna be back right. Yeah, YouTube, we are still here. Oh no, I need to stop the YouTube as well, I think. Let me see. Yeah, it doesn't allow me to. Wait a second, file settings. Audio, video output. Yeah, it doesn't allow me to change that. Okay, YouTube, sadly, I'm gonna need to stop this. Alright, we should be back. Let me test. We should be back. Alright, yeah, we are back on YouTube without any problems. Let's check the Twitch. Yep. 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 And sorry, the little bit of music gonna be in the YouTube. But yeah, we're gonna fix that later. Sorry for that disconnect. Yeah, let me. I'm back already. Yep. Alright, yeah. Let's fix the errors. We need to be change that in shared actually. Shared session data. We need to that time. Yep. We are back. Hopefully the stream is working alright right now. Mactopian is the music is back. Everything is alright. Yeah. Let me actually check if I have something open that I should not be. Yeah, everything is alright. Oh, no, no, it's working. Yeah, I needed to restart the stream. But yeah, now it's working. Auth. What the... session Twitch user. Twitch user.go. Twitch user.go. Wait a second. Oh yeah, Twitch user, yeah. Twitch user. PG times stamp. Yeah, I can just pass the PG type. I'm gonna select all that. So yeah, today we're gonna continue developing on the bot. I already did like some type of progress. I'm right now working on the foundation. Created that. Yep. And also what was wrong here is user.go context user.go. Oh no, wait a second, it was still there, right? No, it's still in shared. User. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Go run CMD. It's gonna give me other errors now. Yeah. Helix manager. Helix manager has an errors. It's not int, it's still int32. And what else we have is provider controller. Provider controller, provider. Which one? API. Provider controller API has two errors. Where? User ID. User ID is 32. User service gonna return the int32 as well. How are you doing, guys? Now we have cannot use provider controller 128. 128 is this one. Session service create. No, you need to accept the right integer. So I don't need to do this. Eating seeds, drinking tea, maybe after that going in gray zone. Oh, alright, alright. You're gonna be doing the gray zone off stream? Or you're gonna be streaming that? I'm drinking the golden kvass taras. Not the first place. First place is Monastyrsky, of course. Oh yeah, let me check the YouTube chat. Sorry guys if someone wrote something. No. I didn't miss shit. I'm missing the Monastyrsky, the fucking foreskin quads. I'm really missing it. Kvastaras is good, but the Monastyrsky is better. It's completely two different tastes. No, no streaming for today. Yeah, alright, alright. You're gonna just enjoy the gameplay. How about Lvivsky? That shit was trash. That is garbage. Holy shit. I was drinking that one. It's like mixed with water, I think. Like, it was heavily mixed with water. It tastes like garbage. Don't even mention the Lvivsky to me. That shit is not bussin' at all. Sheesh, it's working now. Alf server. Only things I need to open is not server. Yep. And also we need to launch the Docker desktop. Don't want to be embarrassed on stream when some random yapper will explode my head off. And my ass will explode IRL. You gonna go PvP? You gonna go test PvP? Motherfucker, you literally explaining the best type of content on the Twitch, so you should be exploding on the stream. It's like people literally watch streamers to see them fall and like become an animal and be a toxic motherfucker. Alright, and now if we go run CMD, yep. It's working right now, and now let me do one thing. Let me actually log in here, Twitch. Let me actually quickly log in here as the bot. Oh, I'm already here as Arnabot. Nice. So yeah, you can see right now that I'm logged in as Arnabot. PvP will be after I level up my vendors. Alright. So you are a pussy. You tell me that you are a pussy. I see how it is. Yeah, so we need to go to the provider Twitch. And it's gonna ask us to authorize us. Authorizing will allow Arnakai to read chat messages, appear in chat as your user, write chat messages as your user, join chat as your user, and appear as a bot. Oh, alright. Now I see how it is. Join your channels chat. As a bot user, view your channel bits information. Yep. Sweet pussy. Juicy, yeah. Alright, authorize. Internal server. Sheesh, what's wrong? Provider not found, creating user and provider created user. Warn, couldn't exchange code for token. Exchange code, yeah, but the first one was the internal error without log. Yeah, it's already a completely different trace. Yes, it's completely different trace ID. So what's wrong with the first one? Wait a second. Internal server. Yep. Provider and found, creating user and provider. Again. What's wrong here? Provider, controller. What's wrong here? We need to check everything after here. Get provider user ID. If we do not find the provider, we don't find the provider. Update tokens. Provider not found. created a user, and then we're trying to create. We cannot create the provider. Yeah, there is no logs here. There was no logs here. For what reason we cannot? Alright, let's create logger. Error. Error context message gonna be cannot create a provider. Also, we should do the transaction at this level, because we already created multiple users at this point, because we couldn't create the providers. Error is gonna be error. Request context. What's nil? It's nil is the golang version of null. It's the same thing. Yeah, just in golang you write nil instead of null. We never created a provider, so we cannot create provider. Let's restart this thing. Actually, let's do air. Yep. Now we can localhost provider Twitch. We're gonna get the same error. Yep, internal. And what's wrong? Resource already exists. What the fuck do you mean resource already exists? Oh yeah, wait a second. Resource already exists, it's because it's a service error. Let's see the more detailed error. Not slog, as logger. Yeah, pretty much understand it from the context of function, yeah. So right now I need to enhance the logger, how I log things. Right now it's not a lot of logs, because it's like first time after I wrote like multiple functions, multiple services, multiple things. It's the first time I'm like launching this stuff, and now I see the errors because I didn't launch it until I like wrote the whole fucking module, whole service. Yep, yeah. So here we need to have a warn context. Cannot create alt provider. Error. Are you plan to store logs somewhere? Right now, no, but I can easily store them somewhere. I can show you actually in shared up log. that the logger that all my applications use. So here I am telling where to write my logs. Right now I point, for example, in auth main function uplog. Yeah, right now I just do it into the std out, but I can write it anywhere else. I can write a whole different thing that's gonna allow me to write in anywhere I want. So I can write it to the file. I can write it to the external service that's gonna collect them all. I can just endlessly pipe it to the server. So yeah. Now we change that so we can go and see the error. Cannot create provider. Resource already exists. Column scopes of relation providers does not exist. Oh, I see. I see. You know what's wrong? Atlas migrate apply. Not here, of course. Shared. Atlas migrate apply. Now it's gonna work. Oh, yep. I don't even need to restore anything. It's gonna work. What's wrong now? Null value in column scopes of relation not null constrained. Null value in column scopes. 1 second. I probably know what it is. It's yeah. We're gonna need to go to the shared data of provider, and when we create new provider, we need to do from, but when we create, we need to do the check here. Scopes is equal to pscopes if scopes is nil. It's gonna be scopes equal make string 0. Yep. And now we need to do this scopes. Now it's gonna work. Let's go to the auth. Let's go here. Restart everything. Localhost provider Twitch. Yep. And we got the login and created and status user ID 7 session token created at last used at. Yep, it's working now. The problem was if you do not initially, if you do this, if you do ints, and it's gonna be slice of int. If you do not initialize it, it's gonna be null. Because every type that do not like basic type is the pointer in the golang. So if you do not initialize it like that, let me show you. Ints2 make int and the size. You can not you can skip the size. Oh no, you can, or either like that or like that. Yeah, so this one is not null. It's this one is the empty slice of ints, but this one is null right now. If you do not initialize it, it's gonna be null. And I pointed null value to the not null in my schema. Not this schema, yeah. Scopes, yeah. I set null false. It's gonna be like, by default, it's gonna be just empty. Empty. I hate working with nulls in the database, so yeah. In this case, it's just empty scopes. I understand structure. Yeah, nice. Now it's working. Right now, we noticed one thing. Can I show it to you? Let's check. PySQL. Ooh. I cannot use which database name I choose. Arno. No. Let me quickly check. I don't want to leak anything. Let me check the env variable I'm using. The it's right now creator things. Yep. Yeah. Connect creator things. Yeah. If we're gonna show our schema right now, we have only users. So yeah, let's select all from users, and you can see that we have multiple users because we didn't use the transactions, and we created user, but we got an error when we were trying to create the provider, and because of that the user was created but the provider still not, and this is just that user. We need to do something with this. Also, why there is no username? Also, why there is no username? Let me check. Provider controller create. We need to include the optional ability to choose the username when we create. How I want to do this? Let's go to share data user. Yeah. User create username. Yeah, here. Function data is user create, and we're gonna do to database, and it's gonna return database user create. No, we should first write the SQL users SQL create. No, it's right here. Yeah, user SQL. Yep, here. When we create default values, no. gonna do the username. Like that. So you decide to write same as in database. No, I decided to keep the layer of my types because I'm still using the most part of the SQLC is the query generation, but I'm not using their structs. I can probably easy swap those if I want. But for now, I'm gonna create my own struct, because if I want to, I'm gonna like create the whole separate layer. Right now, I am only caring about structs at this point. And still using the queries. I see. Yeah. Okay, SQLC generate. Now we need to go to the data user, LSP restart, and it's gonna be database user create. It still doesn't see those. All right. My keyboard is fucking killing me. User data db user create. This one is. It's my keyboard has cat's hair, cat's fur inside there, and because of that, some keys are just double tapping, triple tapping. I fucking hate that. I don't know how. I don't have proper instruments to get those away, and it's fucking driving me crazy. I want to get the new keyboard probably, but I don't know. I'm debating about just fixing my keyboard or buying the new one. Where is the user create param? I don't understand. User SQL. Oh, it's just a username. Because of that, you don't need any of that. All right. It's actually, yeah, it's understandable that you don't need to have the special struct for that. As well, you're gonna be the 32 because I want to. I want to keep the type probably. Well, you can detach keycaps. I mean, I did that without any instruments. I can. I already did that, but it doesn't help. It's inside of the switch. The hair inside of the switch. Or something inside of the switch. Some keys are just fucking bugging. So at this point, I'm just either gonna buy the special things to disassemble them, but I don't know how can you disassemble them because this one is attached to the keyboard. You cannot like hot swap them. So I don't know. Well, switch are not disabled as far Disable as far. No. As I watched many videos where people loop them by themselves and stuff like that, and they literally disassemble every switch for that. So they are loopable. So they are disassemblable. Disassemblable. I don't fucking know. Let me see. Create user. Yeah. Username. String. Username. Disassemblable. Yep. Disassemblable. Yeah, exactly that. Alright, now we're gonna take the username. Let's go back to the controller, and here we need what the errors right now here. It doesn't show for some reason, but I know it's this one. It's gonna be Twitch user login. Yep. Now I want to see how does queries run with, no, it's not queries, it's main. Let me see the database connection. Begin transaction. One second, please. So we have queries. With transaction. How should I pass the transaction? I don't want to add the nullable transaction object to every single fucking request. War 11, she was right here, by the way. She was trying to reach the PC from other side, but she was distracted by something, I think by the other cat. And yeah, I think she was distracted by the other cat, and yeah, now she's gone. I can bring her here if you want. 1 second. Yeah, 1 second. One second, let me put on my... Oh. Here she is. Here is little demon. Little demon. Little demon. Boo boo boo. Oh, wait a second. I can hear myself here. Stop. So yeah. Did you tweaking her today already? No, actually I did not. Let's Google that actually. So best way of passing trans between services golang. Database connection directly into the service layer, which allows to manage the in his implementation. Let me see. She totally fucked up your chair. I mean, I see it from here. Yeah. Let me actually. Yeah. That's fucking crazy. Yeah. Motherfucker, you should point user service. Where? User service. There is no user. API. Oh. What the fuck? API user service. How did you? Or you instantly declare the interface. Yeah, I should probably do that. But yeah, I'm doing the same here. And I don't see how you... I use database transaction. Begin transaction every time? User by mail? Why? You are doing get once? You don't need to do that? I don't see the... Sure, it's abstraction leak. Dependencies from your data access layer are leaking into the business logic layer, which should remain agnostic to the DAO layer. This is a kind of common issue since people are sometimes confused by what it means to have a clear separation of concerns. If, for example, you have user repository and role repository. Motherfucker, what are you talking about? It's not. Then if you need to... What the fuck are you talking about? If you need to create two different things, and if at some point it's gonna be the error, if you need to create the post and something else, you should be able to have a transaction between the repositories. Shut your bitch ass mouth. Nah, go fuck yourself. No. Database transactions and go. As I join a new company, I often feel like an imposter. After all the interviews, they really seem to know what they're doing. I'm humbled and ready to learn from the best. On one such occasion, a few days in, I dealt with a production outage and asked the most senior engineer for help. They came to rescue and casually flipped a value in the database with a manual update. The root cause was that a set of SQL updates were not done within a transaction. Suddenly, I regret not asking for higher compensation right away. Onboarding is fun. What I learned this way is that even if something seems like a fundamental concept in SQL transactions, it may often be overlooked. SQL seems like something we all know well, and there are a few surprises. It's 50 years old. Perhaps it's a good time to reconsider as we're past the NoSQL school hype phase and back to just use Postgres, or even SQLite is good enough. I want to focus here on how to keep transactions in the code rather than on their technical complexity. Once you need to organize a bigger project, perhaps by using layers, splitting the logic from the database code is not always that obvious. It's easy to end up with a mess leading to obscure bugs. Yeah. The key idea of layers is to keep the critical parts of code, the logic, out of the implementation details like the SQL queries. Yep. One way to achieve this separation is the repository pattern. Alright. The hard part is handling transactions in this setup. Yeah. When using transactions, you usually fetch data from the database, run some logic, update the data, and commit the transaction. How do we model this in the code so we don't end up with a mess across the layers? I often see people asking about this, and I know the pain from my experience. We had to figure this out, and the ideas evolved over time. Here are the list of various approaches you can consider and everything I've learned along the way. Alright, let's see that. Let's quickly relate why we need transactions. No, I don't need that. I don't need that. Yeah. I don't want... I literally was testing it right now and I got an error and created multiple users, but didn't created the providers. So yeah, I need the transactions right now. Layers. Splitting code into layers is pretty common. No matter how many you use or what you call the approach, clean, hexagonal ports, adapters, onion, etc. Makes sense for many reasons. It's like separation of concerns, enabling parallel work and easier testing. Alright, for the rest of this post, I assume you keep your SQL code in a place, struct, file, package, whatever, separate from your application logic, inject one into the other. In the example simples, I keep the layers in different files, but in the same package for simplicity. Alright, HTTP app repository. Alright. HTTP gets, but then app, then repository. Yep. So yeah, if I'm gonna do yeah, let me see how you handle that. In the application log and find the user points as discount comment and the handler for it. Let's make the music a little bit less. How is it on stream? I think it's alright. If I need to increase the volume on stream, just tell me, guys. I'm gonna increase it. You might prefer using something slightly different, like a service struct with the methods or use cases. That's all fine. The key is that this part of the code knows nothing about the database used. Alright, my one is not like that right now. Inside the command handler using an interface defined close to the handler definitions. Here how the code can look like with no transactions. Yeah. User points is discount handler, user repository, discount repository. User repository get points, take points, discount repository add discount. Yep. New use point as discount handler. User repository, discount repository. Yeah, we create that. We're getting user repository and passing them just there. Handle. Points error, current points get points. If less take points, add discount. Yeah. There are two repositories, one for user and one for the discounts. The handler logic are rather easy to grasp. We validate the command, points must be positive, check if the user has enough points, and subtract them from their account while adding the discount. New Postgres discount repository. Yep. SQL database. Yep. We'd like to up validate it. User select points, check points, update discount. Yeah. In the logic layer, avoid if you can. The first idea for dealing with transactions across repositories is passing a transaction object around. For running code in a transaction, we can use a helper function, like the run in transaction. We're getting the database and function that's gonna pass the transaction. Yeah, that shit is not busing, you know? It takes a function, you see many anonymous functions disposed that receive the transaction object whenever happens within the function, doesn't know or care how the transaction is started, committed, or rolled back. Here how it works when it's used inside the command handler. Return run in transaction, yeah. Yeah, everything is going inside of the transaction and you passing a transaction. Wait a second. You just broke your own interface. Yeah, you just broke your own interface. Yeah, it's not valid code because it's not. How? What do you mean? Right now, you have these two interfaces: context, user ID. User ID points, and that's all. And after that, you are just breaking your own interface by adding transaction here and never telling something about that. So that shit, the good part is that this approach works. It doesn't work because it's broken the interface. This good part is that this approach works, but we can ignore the fact that it mixes the application logic with implementation details. The SQL transaction may not seem like a big deal. We will likely not change the database, so why be concerned about it? For one, handling the transaction with the commit rollback sequence complicates the flow. Instead of working with the plain application logic, you now have to consider this additional behavior, which has nothing to do with what your application does. As the logic grows, you must carefully consider whether something should work within the transaction or outside of it. A rollback would affect everything you put inside the function, yes. Not to mention the weird ticks argument you must pass it to the repository, and testing becomes awkward because you need to pass the transaction even if the method doesn't need it at the time. Yeah. The get points method could also work without transaction in another context. You can't mock the SQL connection to test the command handler, so it becomes an integration test instead of simple unit test checking the logic. Yeah. You could try to work around this with an abstract transaction object, or perhaps pass it in through the context, but it only masks the root issue of mixing the implementation details with the logic. Avoiding mixing transaction with your application logic is challenging to grasp how it works. Transaction inside the repository, better but far from perfect. Yeah. Is there another belong to the database? No, why not keep it there? The hard part is that we deal with two repositories, yes, so they must somehow share the transaction. Sometimes it's really the case, and it's and I'll show you how to do it in a bit. But first, we should consider if we really need two repositories. It's common to think of database tables as your entities. This way, you end up with one repository per table, and the application logic orchestrating them. Often, the split of repositories has no practical value. Anti-pattern, one per database table. Don't create a repository for each table. Instead, think of the data that needs to be transactionally stored together. Yeah, but I don't know about that. Data should be transactionally consistent, should also be coherent and keep as one. Domain-driven design proposes the idea of an aggregate set of data that must always be consistent. If you follow this idea, you don't keep a repository per SQL table, but a repository per aggregate. Must always be consistent. If you follow this idea, you don't keep a repository per SQL table, but a repository per aggregate. It's the short version of the whole idea. A separate concept, entity, structs, etc. And it makes sense, and conceptually there are different things. The user is used for identity and authentication. Placing orders. I'm not sure that you need to keep all in one repo. Yeah, I'm not sure about this either, this approach. He's selling it like you should. How the fuck? Alright. Let's let the bro cook. But I don't know about this. He is trying to sell me that I need to aggregate users and discounts. I'm actually not sure about that, to be honest with you. Placing orders with discounts is just one of many things that you can... I mean, you could... Yeah, I can, of course I can, but he didn't sold this to me yet. In practice, we can consider discounts part of the user aggregate, even if we store them in another SQL table. In that case, we need to just do one repository, and this lets us move the transaction handling there. Handle. Use points for discount. User points. Yeah, but you now you move the logic to the fucking repository. Yeah, now you just moving the business logic to the repository. That is not good as well. Tactics aggregates. Keep the data that needs to be strongly consistent with the same aggregate. Keep a repository for the aggregate. This approach still has some downsides. One is that we had to move the has enough points logic to the repository. The method name use points for a discount makes it obvious the repository knows something about the logic. But he doesn't need to know that. I thought repo shouldn't know anything about that, no? Yeah, that's the point. The repository is the way for you to store the data and doesn't know where it's stored. And now we're moving the logic of the application into the repository. I don't see the good about that, because now we should now when controller or handler gonna use this the service to do some logic, the service is just piping that information to the repository, and I don't see I don't sold on this that you shouldn't place the logic there. Yeah. It's just for storing data. It make it obvious, yes, but I don't know about the other issues that with many methods like this, the repository interface grows and gets difficult to maintain and test. Yep, this is against the layer split we want to achieve. While use with the approach doesn't scale well, it seems we could use a more generic update method. Alright. The update function pattern, or our go-to solution. A universal update method should load the user from the database, allow us to make any changes and store the result. The challenge, again, is how to make it work with transactions. First, we need a model that combines the user with discounts or aggregate. I use encapsulation to hide the fields. What a fucking nerd. Hello, Babushka. Yeah. We are in the middle of developing a bot, and I'm wondering how to do the proper transactions between the services, because I don't know how to do this in Go. I already figured out some ways in JavaScript and in Node.js, but here I want to try something different and explore the ways. Never mind bots. You ever played Delta Force, motherfucker? I have some time in Delta Force. I have some I don't know, 30 hours or something, some shit like that. I actually updated the Delta Force. I'm maybe gonna play in the nearest future again. Yeah, I have 61 hour in Delta Force. Finding a random LVG is a nightmare. Yeah, play with me. I'm probably gonna play with you, but not today. Right now I'm gonna develop the bot, but maybe in a different day we can play. Yeah, because I have a strange feeling to try again, because you can see that I didn't update any games, most of the games. I recently updated the Delta Force because I had some feeling that I want to play it again. I'm going to sleep in a minute, so that's cool. Alright. I clocked 200s in the beta test. I loved it. Yeah, I also played the beta test and I really enjoyed playing it. It's more casual, more fun way to do extraction shooter. And I really enjoy that, actually. I never gone to the, how it's called, to the Space City, because I saw streams how, like, every lobby have a cheater. Every fucking lobby. And I just wanted to chill, so I usually was at the dam or the second location. I forgot how it's called. Space City sucks cock. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Loot sucks, mob sucks, extraction sucks. I saw that you get a lot more loot from there, but yeah, I don't know. If I gonna play again, I'm gonna probably play the dam and the second map. I'm gonna skip all that grind and high value loot and stuff like that. The extraction are basically all fucking together and all have requirements, mean basically only one. Yeah, it's like a battle royale, but you lose all your loot. Yeah, I would have described the Space City as a fucking battle royale. Alright. The update pattern or go-to solution. Universal update method. Yeah, first we need to model combined user with discounts or I use encapsulation to hide the fields as we want the model to be always valid in memory. The only way to change the state is by secretary export methods. Dam and Lily are where it's at anyways. It's what it's. It's what? The whole player base? Or the most fun? I had the most fun in those two maps. It's where it's at. Oh, I mean it's good. Alright, alright. Alright, alright. Gonna know from now on. It's where it's at. So, alright, it means it's good. Alright, alright. Bread, water, just deleting brain cells. Motherfucker, you are using your fucking terms of saying to the dude who are not native in English. So it's not losing brain cells. The brain water is actually increasing my brain cells. The brain water is ambrosia of this world. So yeah, you do this fucking cancer. Oh, you do this, holy shit. Bread water is a drink of the gods. He's right, you know, he's right. Okay, handsome, I'm gonna go play a little bit of Grey Zone, maybe hour or two. Alright, wish you good luck. 0 deaths and stuff like that. Point as discount. Easy to grasp, trivial to test, no need to think about database transaction when reading it. In fact, no need to think about database tables too. That's the kind of code I want to work with. Gay zone warfare. Exactly. The biggest gay going to go the gayest zone warfare. Did you know, do you heard about this game, Babushka? TJ? Now, you know, I know that my ass will explode a couple times. Motherfucker, your ass is exploding every day. Without the games. Yeah, it's a shit Chinese pay-to-win mobile ass game. Motherfucker, not mobile, and it's not pay to win. It's completely different game. What the fuck are you talking about? Gray zone warfare. This one. You confused with Arena Breakout. Yeah, you confused it with Arena Breakout. I maybe yeah, you confused it with Arena Breakout. That one is holy shit. Do I need to pay for higher resolution? What the fuck is this? The fucking screenshots for ants? What the fuck? So yeah, it's this one. Gray Zone was made by Czech. Oh wait, I've seen this. People say it's just a massive map with barely anything in it. Yeah, it got the new updates, and I think they like did a better job on questing and stuff like that. There is a problem with the PvP because of the spawns, but the game is more or less like more viable. It's still pre-alpha somehow. After a release date the last year, they still in pre-alpha. I don't fucking know how this is possible, but yeah. Motherfucker, look how long Tarkov has been in beta. Motherfucker, Tarkov is literally milking those. You know why Tarkov still in fucking beta? It's actually Tarkov is not in beta. Tarkov is a ready game. It's already like ready game. They probably made a promise that they're gonna release in Steam when they go like release, but that means that they need to release their game with their pricing in Steam. They don't want to. Steam won't host Tarkov. Why? It's the bad press for them. Steam gonna host them. Why it's not a bad press for the Steam. Steam gonna host them. It's bad press for them. They do not gonna list themselves on Steam because it's a bad press for the Tarkov. Because of their pricing model, because of the shit they done. Have you not seen the amount of lawsuits against Tarkov every month? No shot Steam will get. Yeah. But it's probably. I don't know what. I didn't track the. How it's called? The lawsuits. But I'm telling you, if Tarkov gonna be released in Steam, it's gonna be fucking mostly negative. The second people see 250 for the game to get like all the stuff, fucking hell no. They openly broken about 6 trading standards laws in the past 2 years. It was trading standards. It's like, can you explain what they did? Like the most outrageous stuff they did. And Marshall discounts? They released an edition of the game for 150, then changed the perks of it, then deleted the description and acted as though they never advertised it. Oh yeah, I heard also about the $150 edition that was allowing you all DLCs. Then they released the fucking 250 DLC or some shit, and told them that the people who bought like all DLCs in the future should still buy it because it's not DLC. And he described why it's not DLC, and his description was that it's basically meant DLC. Got hit like 15 false advertisement claims and deleted the store page so nobody could even check the changes. Yeah. Yeah, I heard something about that. To be honest with you, I'm not fucking not impressed. Yeah, I bought it, paid 150 for my account because it said it includes all future DLCs. Then they release DLC and say, fuck you, pay me more. Yeah, exactly this one. I heard about exactly this case. I think it was a fucking big one. But if I remember correctly, it was like a year ago or something like that, and they backed off and they said that you guys gonna get those. Did you got this DLC, or it's still you gonna get those? And discount. Motherfucker, you didn't solve shit. You just moved the logic. A common concern about the update method is that it needlessly updates all the fields even they didn't change. For example, the email index. Unless you're saving huge datasets or dealing with massive scale, it shouldn't really matter. You should track which fields changed and update only these, but it will likely only complicate your architecture with no actual performance gains. Be pragmatic and avoid premature optimization. Yeah, tell me about it. Yeah, about it. Yeah. As the introduction performance, I mentioned that sometimes keeping the transaction across two repositories makes sense, while your first reaction should be, why isn't this a single repository? There may be a valid use case for it. Yep. It usually works well for things that are not strictly related to your application domain, but are more technical or platform related. For example, consider keeping an audit log of the user's action. Saving it within the same transaction makes sense, but keeping it inside the user aggregate seems like overkill. Yep. We can work around having an explicit transaction object mixing with logic using the transaction provider pattern. It works similarly to the first approach, but the application code is easier to read with the transaction mechanism working in the background. Type user points as discount handler, transaction provider, transact function, func adapters, user repository, audit log repository. What the fuck are you talking about? Function as an argument. Within it, we can access adapters as extract of all the dependencies we need working with the same transaction. Here's how it looks in the command handler. No, I never got the DLC as a lawsuit. Oh, so really? How this motherfucker called the head of the. You got permabanned for requesting a refund? Holy shit. So they scammed you. Motherfucker. Now you can't even play the game. Motherfucker, that's crazy. But the lawsuit is going to force them to refund anyone who requests it. Yeah, anyone but you, because you are already permabanned, you know? you are fucked. You do not gonna go into that lawsuit. Your name is not gonna appear like you need to refund to this dude. This guy is permabanned. He cannot even request it anymore. Because they are in beta, so it's still a pre-order, which gives anyone the right to withdraw purchases before release. He's right. He's fucking right, you know? Yeah. Actually, but they're ignoring it. Of course they're ignoring. If they're gonna pay all the refunds, they're gonna go bankrupt. So, what they literally gonna say? What you gonna do? I'm in fucking Russia. I ain't doing shit. I am not complying with you. I ain't liking this either. I don't really. Repeatable read. Let me actually. What the problem he described with the context? You could try to work around with the abstract transaction object, or perhaps pass it through the context, but it only masks the root issue of mixing the implementation details with the logic. Elaborate? I don't know if I can know. What are you talking about? Me and Larkin playing Delta Force tomorrow night. Be there or be square. Holy shit. I know this saying. Miss Mort, you know? Miss Mort. I know be there or be square. I know that. Alright. Yeah, I am down to play the Delta. It means you have a square head. Nah. It doesn't mean that you're gonna be Steve from the Minecraft. Steve from the Minecraft. Be with the pipes. What the fuck are you talking? SpongeBob looking ass. Nah. It's a chicken jacket. With transactions gonna return the same queries. You gonna join us then? It's judging by the time you're gonna be playing, you know. I am trying to go sleep early lately, so it's gonna be it depends on which time you're gonna play. Like if it's gonna be starting at like 12 or 24 hours or 30 30. Yeah, obviously it won't be on till late. Yeah, maybe I'm gonna like do some things with the bot tomorrow during the day, and more to the evening we can start playing, and then the Lycan's gonna join us and stuff like that, and we're gonna play. But I'll be around all day, so we can get some in before he streams if you're around. Yeah, alright. I see that you really get addicted to the Delta Force. I saw you multiple times there. How many hours do you have there, by the way? Let me check that. 13 hours. Alright. Yeah, not bad. I've played 200 hours in beta, I haven't played since, so just getting back into it. Alright. I love to stick around and watch, but I haven't got a fucking clue what I'm looking at. Alert though. Good night. Thank you. Yeah, it's alright. It's alright to be a stupid. Huh. Got you. Got him. It's alright. Thank you for stopping by. Unfollowed. Fucking hell. Not like this. Not like this. Holy shit. Alright. How I want to do this. Alright, we got the opinion of the dude. We got his opinion. Let's see more opinions. I don't like his opinion. Your price tag will be injected. Sorry. Okay, am I doing? All right, let's see what ChatGPT gonna say to us. I'm currently developing a Twitch bot, and right now I'm handling and I want to have a transaction that and I want to have a transaction that gonna persist between multiple calls to different services, which Let me the transaction have a database transaction gonna persist between multiple calls to different services. I don't want to pass as arguments what your thoughts about it. Oh, it's good. You think about this earlier. Without explicitly passing it. Motherfucker! Not passing the arguments makes the code hard to reason about. If you use something like context from the start, it can lead subtle bugs in the context isn't propagate leaky abstractions and tight coupling. Cross-service transactions aren't really possible. No, not microservice, no. Just structs that do the logic on their domain and then call the SQLC query to say that I want to have sometime. The main logic and given that you're not doing because you can safely pass it and the pattern becomes much more manageable than you made go. Skill query interface to okay. Query do something, input. Yeah. With the transaction. Yeah, with now you can call I don't fucking know, do I want to do this or not? To passing it through the context. I know it feels like bad. What do you mean struct? Use. So yeah, for example, provider service right now. Yeah, right now I'm doing the distro query. I'm gonna go pee. Be right back. Yep, I'm back. All right. So we're gonna have the dead users. How should I do this? We have a. I don't really like that we have a query right here. I should probably separate that. Let me see if I'm gonna do, for example, no, not here, not here, not here. Function of provider service. That's gonna be with transaction. If I'm gonna do something like okay, name this to the database, for example. No, yeah, like that. With transaction, and we're gonna get the. I don't. Yeah. Query. Yeah. Query. For example, like that. And we're gonna pass query. right here. It's gonna be database query, and it's gonna return auth provider service, for example. It's gonna have return auth provider service. Gonna pass everything that it has, but with transaction. I mean, one thing it's gonna change is the query. The logger gonna be the same logger. I don't know. I don't like this either, but this is gonna allow me to work right now. Because if I'm gonna be trying to restructure everything, because the approach in this thing, the best approach, he suggested that we should do everything update function pattern. So we doing the encapsulation on every fucking. We need to do the coupling of the discounts with the user. Use points as discount. So you only use getters and change it using the function on the struct. And then you just save it, but update by ID, update function, update function take the user. Let me see how he updates it. Run in transaction. Yeah, but it's still fucking for update, run in transaction. And again, the logic. Yeah, it doesn't have the logic. All right, let me see. Browse scan, select email endpoints, email current points. Yep. Select next order discount. Marshall user. Unmarshall user. Why you can call it unmarshall? Okay. Updated update function user. Execute context. I don't think it's a good idea, to be honest with you. Let's try to start between services golang. Clean way to manage database transactions in golang. Yeah. Your splitting service and is very good start. The following work great for me. Make use of the context type. Yeah, make all your methods in your service network accept the context and first create a new interface session that would look like this. Transaction rollback commit context. Using such interface allow you to use any type of transaction system in your services. be it a database or not, or any kind of database. In all your repository, always use the function to retrieve a database. Complete example, yeah, warm. Context. Context background. Service implementation, repository service. Session, repository. Session interface. New service, session, repositories, register, context user, session, transaction, context. You passing your own context. Cannot fully understand. Can you provide content example with implementation of the session interface? Session interface. Yeah, he has a session interface here. Begin. Return GORM. Starting GORM is returns GORM as well, but now with the Service manager. Create comment. Func services error post ID. That's a little bit weird implementation, to be honest with you. So you have a session. A session aims at defining business transaction while abstracting the underlying mechanism. Be it a database transaction or a transaction mechanism that allows service multiple business use cases. Begin context. Transaction is gonna be executes a transaction is again function returns an error. Rollback. Rollback commit context transaction. Mm-hmm. How do you use it in service? Copy model user. Copier library. Yeah. What the fuck is type kill? Oh, it's official tools. Just map a hash table that maps type to any value. Wait a second. Copy. Is there any copy? No. So it's not this type of deal. But copy blank. Model and video. Can I go to your GitHub? Let's see. 1.7 thousand stars 4 days ago, so people use it. Wait a second. REST API framework. Nah, I don't need all of that. But type with you. Does it contain somewhere here? Type with you. Let me see the type with you. Copy. Copier. What the fuck is copier? It's your copier, alright? I'm practically sure that it's something with the I don't know, alright, so copy. Let me see the to value from value copier. Let me see your database SQL driver. Reflect, yeah, it's probably using as reflect a lot. Indirect. What the fuck is indirect? Reflect value for kind pointer. Reflect value equal to the element. Alright, so indirect is just another way of saying that I want to the value. Alright, holy shit. Is that all copier? Yeah, I ain't running that. Nah, I ain't doing that. Let's write this. So if I'm gonna do something like this, so it's gonna be passing all the same, but it's gonna be like with transaction. It's probably a bad idea because now there is something of the database layer or something like that in the service. How the code was looking in the service for that handle user return user repository update use yeah, 1 second. Sorry, I'm here. Alright, so first of all, that looks like context cmd user points as discount command use points as discount count user id function user points I don't really like that approach, to be honest with you. Something like this. Maybe we're gonna move from that. Maybe it's bad, but let's just see how it is. Pointer to queries, pointer to queries. Type queries. Alright, it's a struct. At least here. Alright, with transaction, and it's gonna be doing all the same stuff, but now using that. Let's actually try also this. Lawyer is gonna be equal upload. No. Yes. With with returns a logger that includes the given attributes in each output operation. Arguments are converted to attributes as if by, let me see, slope. Um, True. Let's see. Just so we see if the transaction is enabled. After that, we can. What we can do? We can. It's auth provider and also user service. Wait a second. Let's go back to the provider service and get this transaction. And go to the user service. I'm gonna pass this thing here, but it's gonna be now the user service. User service, and here it's gonna be user service. Yeah, but now queries is gonna be query, but I'm gonna rename that with query. I don't like how it sounds right now. It's better like this. Yeah, query. Yeah, but I should probably. But some of them should not be in transactions. Some of them should be. Yeah. Just let's try it. Let's try it. Let's see how it's gonna be. I don't want to pass the database relation to this. Let's go here and see the database interface, new queries and queries with transactions. So it go to definition. No, let's go to the querier. It's only querier, of course. How should I do this? How should I do this? it just provider controller, for example. Here we're gonna be doing the decode. It's a service. No, no, it's not a service. Provider call provider controller. Yeah, here. Separates over Twitch API service, user service, provider service, session service. What if we're gonna create the transaction service? Package type struct. It doesn't gonna have the queries. It's gonna be just gonna yeah. How he did the first one, run a transaction, yeah, and you then pass the function that he's gonna run. Run a transaction. Let's research a little bit more, because I don't really like my realization either. I should I'm probably gonna need to. I should not be aware of infrastructure details as in transaction management. The service layer should focus purely on business rules and defer infrastructure operations like database integration to the adapters layer. Yep. Transaction handling like at the beginning often ends up being tightly coupled to the service layer, leading to design that violates the principle of separation. Create user domain user. User repo begin transaction. Create user, create task for the user. It's already wrong because of the name, because you're doing the create some task here. I don't really like that, yeah. Port. Domain user, create user. Yep. Log task. What's wrong with the... yeah, a better solution, apply unit of work pattern. Unit of work. Database. Begin context. Return context. Unit of win. Transaction or not transaction. Commit and rollback. Return context with value, context, transaction key, transaction. Create user domain, create user context, user domain, unit of work. Begin. You're still doing the transaction, to be honest with you. And you're passing the SQL database to the concrete way of the interacting with the user database shouldn't be the thing, because here you don't have it, so you added this into the user. Transaction, execute user creation with transaction. So this one is using callbacks to pass that. Nguyen Long, what did you do? Gomax prox infinity, 4 posts. Unit of work is now you passing the direct thing from database here. What do you have to say? Now you say that the data series data percent layer should be transparent to the okay. Yeah, right now it's gonna be leaking into my services because I'm using the query directly. I should probably move that. SQL GDBC. Done. Implement the conclusion interface to get it worked. Interface need to be implemented. Rollback, commit, extend, and begin. Transaction code for database handler. Registration use case interface, modify and unregister. Modify and unregister with transaction. Enable transaction. Modify and register. User registration use case. Wrap. Why? Enable transaction, return TDI. Damn. Hopefully it doesn't heavily hurt. I hope you cannot hear what's going on outside. You require need data scale and above code. It's true that transaction can implement without it. Motherfucker, your implementation is so convoluted, to be honest with you. So, alright, I'm gonna be researching that a little bit more. Hopefully I'm gonna find the conclusion. Maybe I'm gonna do it off stream and explain on stream later. But yeah, I think we are done for today. Yeah. It doesn't seem like a good idea to continue cheating right now. So we're gonna be ending for today. Actually, yeah. Thank you everyone for being here. Let's finish up the things, and yeah, thank you everyone for being here. I'm gonna be ending stream right now, and yeah, see you guys maybe tomorrow. Bye.